Hello lovelies and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a Japanese traditional style house from the anime show Fruits Baskets. If you are stuck at home right now and looking for something to watch, I highly recommend Fruits Baskets. It is a very sweet, wholesome show. It's a little odd. It's basically like there's a family with a curse on them, and this one girl is sort of getting to know various family members, and it's just really sweet, and like all of the characters are just trying to help each other out, and they're all trying their best to become better people and be the best people that they can possibly be. It's such a wholesome show. There are two versions of it out. There are more episodes out for the earlier version of the show that came out in the 90s, I believe. That one did not finish though. So the one that is the newer version that came out in 2019, that one is scheduled to finish up the entire manga, whereas the one that came out before, that one ended before the manga was finished. And I think it was sort of left open-ended, like maybe we'll come back and finish it, but then they didn't. So they just, they didn't finish it. And so when I watched it the first time, I got to the end and I was like, this cannot be the end. And then I read the manga so that I knew how it ended. But I didn't read the manga very well. I don't have a lot of patience for reading things on screens, especially when there's no dark mode for them, which manga doesn't really have. So it's a problem. I have the eye problems and I can't read things that have a white background on a computer screen because my eyes start to hate me. So I skimmed it just to know what happened, which was fine. Anyway, by doing this build, this is my first very traditional Japanese house that I've done. I know the bathhouse in Spirited Away is, it's sort of a Japanese style building, but it's not exactly traditional. This is a very traditional Japanese home. And so I wanted to give it a go, and also our friend really wanted this building. So of course I'm very indulgent. I will build her anything she asks me to. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. And I had to learn a bunch of words so that I knew the different parts of a Japanese house. So one of the first things are the shoji. So those are the transparent or translucent paper and wooden frames. And so the shoji all around the house, I'm using the room dividers from university. Now, the weird thing about the room dividers, I set them into archways. So I just use door archways to create the spaces where the shoji should be. And then the shoji could, hypothetically, if they actually worked as shoji, could slide back and forth within the frames, but in actuality, the room dividers are like something that the Sims can just walk through for some reason. So I thought that Shigure's room on the first floor, that's the bedroom on the first floor, would be separate from the rest of the house, and the Sims wouldn't be able to just walk right into his room, that they would have to use the door. And that is not actually the case. When I player tested it, I realized there was no need to, which is semi-awkward because he is an adult and he should be able to have privacy and be able to lock his room, but he can't. So it's fine. His room is sort of half bedroom, half study because he's a writer in the show. Like that's what his character does for a living. But yeah, I like Shigure. And then the walkway that wraps around the outside of the house is the egawa. I think I am saying that semi-right. Oh, it's the engawa. So in traditional houses, that covered walkway along the outside of the house serves as sort of like a hallway, and it also protects the inner rooms from the weather. And to further protect them in a storm or something of that nature, they also have these massive sliding shutters, basically, so it can close off the entire engawa. And it would completely transform the look of the house. It would get very dark inside, but it would protect the house from wind or heavy storms and rain or typhoons. So the shutters are called amado, and I end up using cutting boards. There are cutting boards in cool kitchen stuff, I believe, that hang on the wall, like as a decorative item. So I size those up and I use those as the wooden shutters on the outside at the end. But it took me a while to find those items, and I was kind of like racking my brain on about what I was going to use for those. But it makes sense because you do need to have a way to close up the house. But other than that, Japanese houses are quite airy. They have a lot of open spaces, and it's sort of intended to be so that, air can flow through the house. Airflow is very important, and also so that you could diffuse some of that natural light through the house. This is not an entirely traditional house because there is a modern kitchen, and we never really see the downstairs bathrooms, but I assume that they would have sort of a larger bath room, like a room that's like just for the bath. So I ended up putting one of those in. Also, I just had a bit of space to play with on the bottom level, so I thought I might as well. And then as far as the rooms upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms upstairs. One of them is for the main character when she moves in with the family. So upstairs are the bedrooms for Toru, who's the main character, and then Kyo and Yuki. And Yuki and Kyo are sort of rivals and hate each other. And Toru is living with them sort of as their cook. She helps out a lot around the house and cooks them all of their meals and does most of the cleaning and the laundry and such, because it's just Shigure, who's a writer and sort of preoccupied pretty much all of the time and bad at housekeeping. So he doesn't get much of those things done. And then the 2 boys are teenage boys, and they don't do any of that stuff either and are very bad at cooking. So they're just sort of like a little trio of not exactly bachelors, because the boys are kind of too young for that. But I mean, Shigure is a bachelor raising 2 teenage boys. So they need a bit of help. And Toru is, she's quite good at everything she does. She's so hardworking. Yeah, that is how it ended up looking at the end of all that. And then the last thing to do was the bit of garden in the front. And I found some really lovely debug trees to put up. And that weird glowy cracking rock, I thought that was probably the best for the little stream that the bridge is supposed to be over. And then figuring out how to do the bridge, goodness me, that took a long time. It really, really did. The bridge was quite a hassle, but I'm happy with how it turned out in the end. What I ended up doing was making a floor that is actually counting as the 2nd floor, and then lowering it to the level of this little stone debug bridge so that I could then put stairs going up to it on either side. I thought it was a rather clever solution for making a very small stone bridge with an archway underneath. And it straddles I don't even know what that item's called. It's the debug item, and it's just like a glowy crack in the rocks thing. Maybe it's an alien thing. I'm not really sure. But I think it looks a bit like it could be a stream or a pool or something. The only thing that's a bit odd is it does glow at night, so but it's fine. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I really love this show. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you have, do please like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.